Welcome everyone to Jenny's World. Hopefully this is not your first time with me, but if it is, then I hope you enjoy my exciting new adventures as I travel far and wide. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and ring that notification bell to keep coming back. On my travels, I'm on the lookout for funny, unusual and interesting facts, which are sometimes laced with just a hint of irony. Today, amongst other things, you'll see the best view in England, allegedly, a funicular railway, some steam trains, and oh yes, a haunted pub. I like places a bit out of the ordinary, with historical, funny, creepy, scary, rude or weird facts, though obviously not every place will tick all of these boxes. I won't be all blah 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 about how-tos and tourist guides, and there should be lots of informative stuff. If not, let me know in the comments below. Follow the links or search online for more details. Today I'm visiting the market town of Bridgnorth in Shropshire, which in 2025 had an approximate population of 14,500 people. The crime rate here is lower than the national average, so it appears to be a safe place to live in or visit. Now I don't know if that's down to better policing, or maybe the police in Bridgnorth just stopped answering the phone. Either way, it's a safe place. Ooh, nice. I do like a man in uniform. Possibly one of the main attractions in Bridgnorth is the Severn Valley Railway, which runs through 4 stops from Kidderminster to Bridgnorth. Tickets are available at the station or online. The station and platform were open during my visit, but trains only run seasonally from February half-term. Even during the summer months, trains do not run every day, so please check running schedules. I could definitely go into lots of detail here about the railway, its gauges, size and other technical information, but as I'm not an anorak, I'll leave that to the real enthusiasts. There is definitely something about a steam train though. The station cafe and the Railwayman's Arms were open on the platform. The cafe sells hot drinks, cakes and other homemade food, and the staff are very happy to stop and chat. Behind the station is a picnic area. Not good in the rain though, which I found out to my cost. The station car park has over 200 spaces, costing £4 per day, even when the trains are not running. As you can see, steam engine maintenance by volunteers is ongoing, all year round. The town is within walking distance of the station, even for me with my little legs. Bridgnorth itself is uniquely divided by the River Severn into High Town and Low Town, linked by the steepest and only inland funicular railway of its type in the country. Construction of the Cliff Railway was commenced in 1891 and officially opened on the 7th of July 1892 by Mayor of Bridgnorth, John Anderson, with a public holiday proclaimed to mark the occasion. Some people don't need much of an excuse for a hip hip hooray now, do they? Although originally water balanced, the funicular was converted to electricity in 1944. With a maximum gradient of 64 degrees, it takes 1¼ minutes to travel 111 feet up or down the sandstone cliff, just long enough to enjoy the view and maybe have a little chat with the other passengers. It's a very steep hill, so a return ticket is a godsend at only £2.50. The entrance could be a little tricky to find, as it's set back between 2 shops, but it's well worth seeking it out. Breathtaking views of Low Town and the River Severn from High Town prompted King Charles I to boast it as the finest view in all my kingdom. Now I'm not sure about that. Let me know in the comments if you agree. In those days though, who the hell was going to argue with the king? Bridgnorth was once one of Europe's busiest inland ports, with a thriving river trade. But as usual, during the Industrial Revolution, the railway put an end to that. Historically, earliest records show reference to the town in 895, when the Danes created a camp here. Bridgnorth was formally established as a town in 1101 by Robert of Bellem, 3rd Earl of Shrewsbury, or Shrewsbury. You say tomato, and I'll say tomato. Anyway, he moved his stronghold from nearby Quatford to build a castle on the high sandstone cliff. There are caves carved into the cliff face, which obviously, for a nosy person like me, required further inspection, but there are metal bars to stop you going inside. I'm only small, and I could have gotten through. Then I thought better of it. I mean, I didn't know who or what the hell was inside, did I? Just a little bit too scary for me. It turns out there's a lot of history behind the caves. During the English Civil War, Bridgnorth was one of the Midlands' main royalist strongholds. And in 1646, the town was attacked during a fierce battle in Hightown. Colonel Lavington decided to tunnel into the cliff face, hoping to reach underneath the castle and blow up the royalist ammunition stores. The plan was abandoned following a 3-week siege. What remains is a 70-foot tunnel, known as Lavington's Hole. Yes, I know that's funny. The tunnel is close to the town's cliff railway. Following the royalist surrender, Cromwell ordered the demolition of the castle. Whilst not the best castle ruins and gardens I've ever seen, entry is at least free. The remains of the keep is a good photo opportunity with a dramatic 15-degree lean, significantly steeper than the 4-degree leaning Tower of Pisa. The impressive architecture and red Gothic tower of the Church of St Leonard's dominates Bridgnorth's skyline. Surrounding it is an oval of charming houses, almost like a cathedral close. Inside, the church has the airy vastness of a cathedral. Actually, the size is breathtaking. The church seems to be medieval, but in fact it is almost entirely a Victorian restoration, following Civil War damage and various other renovations. St Mary Magdalene was built on the site of the original church in 1792, designed by Thomas Telford and consecrated in 1796. It is a Grade II listed building, unusual insofar as it is oriented north-south, when the majority of churches lie east-west. The church is open every day for quiet reflection, prayer, to light a candle, or on days like today, to find respite from the rain. I have lots of Jennyisms, and one of them is blue plaques. I love to come across a blue plaque, and in Bridgnorth, Scottish civil engineer Thomas Telford did not let me down. Famous for designing over 40 bridges and St Mary Magdalene Church, he lived in East Castle Street in Hightown, and you can see the blue plaque on the house. Something you might not have known is that Bridgnorth is a popular location for TV shows. It has been visited by Michael Portillo in Great British Railway Journeys, Tony Robinson in Time Team, and also used as a backdrop in Closure, Hearts of Gold, and the wonderful Murder Before Evensong written by the Reverend Richard Coles. Weirdly, I'm very intrigued by dark and scary things like murder and mystery, fact or fiction. One notable true story is when, during the 1970s, the town was in the grip of terror at the hands of serial killer Donald Nielsen, also known as the Black Panther. This, however, is not its only notorious crime. In 1848, Bridgnorth local Mercy Newton was arrested for murder. She was only the second person in British history to stand trial twice for the same crime. The Emma Woodhouse book, Mercy, tells the whole grisly story. I imagine it was quite a surprise for the current owner of Mercy Newton's house. If, like me, you have a morbid curiosity, then a visit to the Bassett Villa is a must. The building is a reputedly haunted pub in Cartway alongside the river. Paranormal activities of glasses being smashed and falling from shelves were recorded here on CCTV in 2015. Now, I don't know, maybe that's just a typical Saturday night in Bridgnorth. Sadly, the original story stems from the early 1600s, when 2 children who were playing hide-and-seek were locked in the cellar by mistake. The already flooding river burst its banks, and unfortunately, both children drowned. Now, I check and double-check all my facts, and whilst incredulous, my next one is a real doozy. Large-scale maps and detailed information discovered after World War II showed that if Germany had invaded England, Apley Hall near Bridgnorth was the top choice for Hitler, hand-picked for his personal headquarters due to its location, railway and airfield. With all that evidence, Das ist unglaublich. That's unbelievable to you and me. Records show that in 1673 a whale and in 1748 a dolphin swam up the River Severn, passing through Shrewsbury. Thankfully, these events are well documented, as sadly, there is definitely no photo evidence. Another Jennyism is me looking for famous people with local connections. They're a bit thin on the ground here in Bridgnorth, but I did find out that Ronnie Corbett, one half of the two Ronnies, completed his National Service recruit training at RAF Bridgnorth, where at 5'0", he was known as one of the smallest officers in the force. That's all the proof I need that small people are funny. Ronnie Corbett was a very, very funny man. Just whilst we're talking fun facts, the old name for Shropshire is Salop, and residents of the county are known as Salopians. If there was an underground railway, they could call it the Salopian Tube. Wah, wah, wah. My visit was on a very cold, wet and windy Saturday in January, but it has to be said the town was bustling, so clearly a popular choice to visit. I imagine during the summer, especially when the steam trains are running on the Severn Valley Railway, it would be extremely busy. So if you're looking to have a meal here, it's well worth booking ahead in the cafes, pubs and restaurants. There are lots of other things to see and do locally, and you'll find more information and details in the links and comments below. I know I'd like to visit again, as I'm sure it's quite different when the sun is out. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed a sneak peek at Bridgnorth in Shropshire. Be sure to follow me and keep coming back to see what's happening next in Jenny's world. Bye for now.